Hello, everyone. My name is Michelle Jones, and I am so excited to bring Kayli Anderson to you today. Hi, Kayli.
Hi, Michelle. I'm so excited to be here with you all.
I am glad that you decided to do this workshop that teaches us a little bit more about fiber and the power of fiber foods, why they're so powerful, and the effects that they have on our health. So, thank you for being here. Before I turn everything over to you, I do want to read your bio so people can get to know you a little bit better. Kayli Anderson is a registered dietitian certified in lifestyle medicine, women's integrative medicine, intuitive eating, exercise physiology, and natural foods cooking. She serves as lead faculty of ACLM's Food is Medicine course and co-chair of the Women's Health Group. She is a fellow of ACLM and is the creator of the educational website plantbasedmavens.com. She is a contributing author of 3 lifestyle medicine textbooks, including the first on women's health. Thank you, Kayli, for lending your expertise to us today. And I'm just going to turn things over to you.
Thank you so much, Michelle. And thank you, everyone, for joining us today. I'm so glad you've set aside this time to take care of your health. That's not an easy thing to do in this day and age with our busy schedules. And as Michelle mentioned, today we are going to talk about one of the simplest, most powerful nutrition strategies for better health: fiber. We are all about fiber here at Full Plate Living. And by the end of this session, you'll understand what fiber is, why it's so important and powerful, and how you can add more of it to your life in really easy, enjoyable ways. So, first, what is fiber? Fiber is part of plant foods that our bodies don't digest. And instead, it travels down into our intestines where it's fermented by gut bacteria. And this is a good thing. Those bacteria produce compounds that help us with digestion, boost our immunity, reduce inflammation, and even support our mood. And there are two main types of fiber. There is soluble fiber. Soluble fiber is found in things like oats, beans, flaxseed, and this type of fiber is known for helping to lower cholesterol and keep blood sugar steady. The other type of fiber is called insoluble fiber. It's found in things like whole grains, veggies, fruit peels, so like the peel of an apple. And this type of fiber keeps us regular and supports gut health. Both types are equally important, and so the best approach is to eat a mix of these types. So we consider fiber to be the cornerstone of health. Fiber-rich foods are nutrition powerhouses. Along with fiber, they come packaged with other important things like vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, phytochemicals. All of these things are used to keep us healthy. And science shows that fiber supports nearly every aspect of health. It helps us feel full and satisfied. It regulates digestion. It can lower blood pressure and cholesterol. It balances blood sugar, supports a healthy weight, and even reduces the risk of certain cancers. And it's even been linked to improvements in things like energy, focus, and better mood. And if you want to dig into all the research-backed benefits of fiber, you can check out the Full Plate Living bibliography. And we are always updating and compiling the latest research on the benefits of fiber. So that's a great place to go and dig in a little bit more if you're curious. Now let's take a look at a specific study that looked at the Full Plate Living program, which teaches you how to increase fiber intake in a really doable, delicious way. This study looked at over 4,400 Full Plate Living participants in a 16-week program. And here is what they found. On average, people lost about 7 pounds, not by dieting, but by eating more fiber-rich foods. They added about 2 to 3 extra servings of fruits and vegetables to their day, and just over a serving of beans per day. And the results were really clear. The more fiber people ate, especially from fruits and vegetables, the more weight they tended to lose. And beyond the scale, participants also reported benefits like better digestion, improved mood, higher energy, and more confidence in their health. So, pretty amazing results, right? Just by learning to increase their fiber intake. And here are some other key findings in recent fiber research that I think are really important and interesting to know. When comparing highest fiber consumers to lowest fiber consumers, one study found a 15 to 30% decrease in all cause and cardiovascular related mortality and incidence of coronary heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, and colorectal cancer. In another study, every 2.5 gram per day increase in fiber was significantly associated with reduced risk of multiple cancer types. And this just shows the power of these small, consistent changes, just 2.5 grams per day of additional fiber. It doesn't take much. Increasing fiber intake significantly improves glycemic control, lowers total and LDL cholesterol, reduces inflammation, and has been shown to modestly decrease blood pressure as well. And in another study, every 1 gram increase in fiber was associated with 9% lower odds of metabolic syndrome. So, really powerful research out there. So, how much fiber do you need? The official guidelines suggest that women aim for about 25 grams of fiber daily and men for about 38 grams. But at Full Plate Living, we encourage aiming even a little bit higher, so up to 40 grams or more per day. And why is that? Because that's the level linked to better outcomes, lower risk of heart disease and cancer, better blood sugar, healthier weight, and even improved mood and productivity. And we see this in many traditional diets. Populations around the world who eat higher amounts of fiber consistently have lower rates of chronic disease. So it really is the missing link in health in a lot of ways. Now, where can you find fiber? Here is the really simple truth. Fiber only comes from plants. That means fruits, vegetables, beans, and whole grains are the best sources of fiber. So foods like meat, eggs, dairy, and most ultra-processed foods contain little to no fiber. And at Full Plate Living, we don't just focus on fiber. We go a step further and focus on what we call water fiber foods. These are whole, unprocessed plant foods that naturally contain both fiber and water. Because fiber alone is great, as we've just talked about, but pairing it with water in food is even better. The fiber helps you feel full, while the water helps move that fiber through your body. And together, they give you lasting satisfaction and all these wonderful health benefits that we've talked about. So the four categories of water fiber foods are fruits, so things like apples, oranges, berries, vegetables, so that includes leafy greens, carrots, broccoli, beans, things like lentils, black beans, chickpeas, and cooked whole grains, so oatmeal, quinoa, brown rice. So, for the most part, these foods are affordable and accessible because even frozen veggies or canned beans are considered water fiber food. So, it doesn't always have to be fresh ingredients, it can be things that have been frozen or even canned. So, here's our favorite way to help you visualize water fiber foods. So, here we see a bunch of different foods, they all contain fiber hanging out at the beach. The foods that we see on the left side in the water contain both fiber and at least 60% water. So what you see there is those fruits, vegetables, cooked beans, and cooked whole grains. The foods on the right side, the ones that are on the dry sand, are other fiber rich foods like nuts and seeds, for example, which are still healthy and have health benefits, but don't have much water in them. So this makes them generally more calorie dense and less filling than the foods on the left. So we really want you to prioritize the water fiber foods that we see in the ocean side of our beach. And we'll talk a little bit more about what this looks like now. So now that you know how powerful it can be to boost your fiber intake, let's talk about some simple ways to make that happen in your daily life. And one of the most foundational and simplest ways we help you increase your fiber intake here at Full Plate Living is with the concept of the 75% plate. And the 75% plate approach encourages you to divide your plate into two zones. We see here the 75% zone, which is filled with water, fiber, foods that we just looked at. And then we have our 25% zone, which is filled with everything else. So those foods that we saw on the beach and additional foods as well that don't contain any fiber. So we have our 75% zone, which is the majority of our plate that is filled with nutrient dense foods that naturally contain both fiber and water from those four categories: the fruits, vegetables, beans, and cooked whole grains. And then we have our 25% zone, which is the remainder of our plate that's reserved for a serving of food that does not naturally contain both water and fiber. And this could be one of those quote unquote healthier fiber rich options like whole wheat bread or whole wheat pasta or nuts. Or it could be something else that doesn't contain fiber, like grilled chicken or even a cupcake. And this approach makes it easy to work up to your fiber goals slowly over time and still enjoy your favorite foods. That's really the beauty of this approach. And you don't have to do it all at once. So, for example, you could start with a 50-50 plate and then build up to a 75-25 plate from there. So, let's take a look at this in action in a real example. And I want you to pay attention to how the fiber goes up as we make these changes and the calories go down. So in our first plate, we have a typical pizza meal. We see 3 slices of pizza, 3 breadsticks. So this gets us to about 8 grams of fiber and over 1,200 calories. Now, we can make some simple swaps to this to get to our second plate. So we've swapped 1 slice of pizza and 2 of our breadsticks for a big, yummy side salad. That's going to boost the fiber up to 10 grams and lower the calorie count to 900 calories. And then we can move on to our third plate, which is a little bit closer to a 75-25 plate. We've swapped 1 more slice of our pizza and the remaining breadstick for a bowl of bean-based soup and some fresh fruit, and we still have that side salad there. And that puts us at 14 grams of fiber and less than 600 calories for this meal. So you can see that we still get to enjoy that pizza in our 25% zone on this plate, but we've significantly boosted the fiber and decreased the calories with just some simple changes. Here are some more doable ways you can increase fiber throughout your day. Eat some fruit with your breakfast, and a lot of these don't require you to make drastic changes to what you're already eating. A lot of them are just additions or little swaps that you're making. So just adding some fruit to whatever you're already having with your breakfast. If you have oatmeal, add some berries to it, and that's going to help boost the fiber content. Add vegetables to things like sandwiches, wraps, or pasta. Replace white rice with brown rice or quinoa, or choose whole grain breads or wraps instead of refined versions. So, anytime we're choosing the whole grain version of something over the refined grain version, we're naturally going to boost the fiber content. Snack on fruit or raw veggies or popcorn. All of these are high fiber options that can add a little fiber boost in between meals as well. Add beans to chili, salads, or soups. So again, you don't have to make drastic changes to the meal that you're having, but just stirring some beans into a chili recipe that you already enjoy is a great change to make. And as you increase fiber, it's normal for your body to need a little adjustment time. So let's talk about how to feel your best on your fiber journey. So here are a few tips to make that transition to a higher fiber diet a little more comfortable for you. First, increase fiber gradually. So we don't want to go all the way if you're eating more of a 25-75 plate than going to a 75-25 plate immediately might cause a little bit of digestive discomfort. So we encourage you to increase fiber gradually, adding about 1 to 2 new fiber rich foods per day and working up from there. Drink plenty of water. Water is fiber's best friend. It's going to help move things through the body. So we want to aim for at least 8 cups of water per day. Move your body. A short daily walk, even something as simple as 15 to 30 minutes, can really help decrease bloating and improve digestion. And if walking isn't your thing, any kind of activity where you're moving your body is going to help move digestion as well. Eat slowly and chew your food well. So give your gut a head start breaking down those fiber foods. Go easy with beans at first. So beans are a fiber-rich food that are notorious for causing some digestive upset for certain people. So we want to take it slowly when it comes to beans. Start with about 1/4 of a cup to 1/2 of a cup portion, and build up from there over time. Keep track of how you feel. So when you eat fiber rich foods, pay attention to how you feel afterward and adjust your fiber and water intake accordingly, either dialing back a little bit on the fiber or if you feel great, then increasing that a little bit. And then last but not least, stick with it because your gut will adapt. And most people feel better within days or a few weeks of increasing their fiber intake. So soon you will be well on your way to enjoying all of the amazing benefits that we've talked about today so far. And I do want to mention that all of these tips that we've gone over have been compiled into a resource for you to make it easy to reference back so you can remember all these little tips and tricks. Okay, now let's bust a few common myths that I often hear about fiber. Myth number 1, fiber is only important for older adults. That is false. It benefits all ages, starting right now, as we've seen. These benefits are for everyone. So it's important to start boosting your fiber intake now, regardless of how old you are. Myth number 2, you don't have to give up. You do have to, well, I guess the myth would be you do have to give up, but you love to hit fiber goals. But you don't have to give up what you love to hit your fiber goals. There's still room on your plate for your favorite foods, as we've seen with the 75-25 plate. There's always that 25% zone where you can keep those things that you really love, regardless of their fiber content. And then last but not least, fiber supplements are a better way to meet your fiber goals. So maybe you've seen different fiber powders and supplements that you can take out there. And this one is false. So whole plant foods are more effective because they also come in that beautiful package with water and all those other nutrients, vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients that are really important for our overall health. So by now, I hope you're thinking, okay, you've convinced me. I want to start eating more fiber to reach my health goals, but where do I start? So here's how I suggest you get started. First, make a list of your favorite fiber foods. So there's no need to try a bunch of new foods and overwhelm yourself to start off. Just start with what you already enjoy. So look at a list of fiber rich foods and highlight the ones that you know you already like. Next, aim to add 4 foods from your list of fiber favorites to your day. And you don't have to change what you're already eating. Just give those meals a little bit of a fiber boost. So let's talk through an example here. So say you know that you like apples, bananas, lettuce, tomato, and cucumbers. So here's how that might look, adding those things to your day. First, eat a banana with your breakfast. So whatever your breakfast is, you don't have to change it, just add a banana to it. So there's one fiber food. Next, add tomatoes or cucumbers to your lunchtime sandwich. So if you go to a deli on your lunch break every day and get a sandwich, just add an additional veggie in there for a little fiber boost. So there's 2 fiber foods. Number 3, have an apple as an afternoon snack. That's a great fiber food to start off with. So there's 3 fiber foods. And then lastly, make a simple side salad to eat alongside your dinner. So you don't have to make any changes to your dinner to start, just add that side salad. And there you go. You've added 4 fiber-rich foods to your day without making too many changes. And the final step I want you all to take today, if you haven't already, is to join Full Plate Living. You'll get tons of free support, powerful tools, and easy ideas to continue improving your health and increasing your fiber intake. So as we wrap up our time together today, here's what I hope you take away. First, fiber is essential for health, and most people don't get nearly enough of it. Second, fiber and water is the powerhouse combination. Those 2 in combination equal fullness, satisfaction, and health benefits. So really pay attention to those water fiber foods. Next, you don't have to cut anything out to start. Just start by crowding your plate with fiber-rich foods and see how that naturally starts to nudge out some of those other foods. It's all about small, consistent changes. So start with one small step. Add a few of your favorite fiber foods to your day. That's a great place to start. And remember that every apple, every bowl of oatmeal, every serving of beans, every extra gram of fiber, we saw that in the research, right, that you can eat counts and benefits your health. So this approach is really about progress over perfection. Taking consistent, small, doable steps every day is what will build those sustainable habits that we all desire for the long term. So if you are ready to take the next step, you can start your journey at FullPlateLiving.org using the first QR code that you see here. So just scan that with your phone and it will take you through the steps to sign up for free for Full Plate Living. And if you're already a seasoned member of the Full Plate Living community, then we would love to hear your story. We're always collecting success stories. We have so many of them to share with our community. So you can share your experience through the second QR code that you see here. And we want to leave you with something truly inspiring to show you what's possible for you if you start this journey. So now we're going to hear from someone just like you who has done exactly what we've talked about today and has reaped the incredible benefits of eating more fiber. A Full Plate member sharing their success story with us.
My name is Daljinder Sohal, but you can call me Nikki, and I am 51.
And I am Sandeep Sohal, and I am 53.
In 2017, I think, I had foot surgery done, so I couldn't move. So I was reading all the books, so, and we both have, our A1C little bit higher than usual. So we both were like pre-diabetic. And by 2019, his A1C kept increasing, and mine, which was around mid-5s, it is now in 6.2, and his was around 7.7, 7.8 or something. Mm-hmm. So we were like afraid because nothing was working, and his doctor kept increasing his medication. So we were just afraid, what if he will put him on insulin or insulin injection or something. So we were very afraid. So then he went to dietitian and everything.
Yeah, I went to a doctor, and the doctor sent me to a dietitian, and that was the first time they kind of asked me food-related questions, like what kind of food do I eat, and they broke it down into carbs and proteins, and the kind of food we eat is the food from India. But we have picked up a lot of bad habits. Any diet which we have seen so far, we have seen that you have to take away this in one particular diet.
Yes.
You look at another diet, you have to take away that. And since she had tried the low carbs and keto versions, we knew that things will not work for us in that direction. You may be able to sustain it for a week or month, but there are too many unknowns. And the chances of your food becoming less nutritious is very high because they are taking away a lot of things. Now compare it with a plan like FullPlateLiving. It's truly not a diet. Yes. Because they are not taking away anything. Yes. They are saying that you just have to arrange your plate in a certain way. This is how you arrange it. Yes. 75% of this, 25% of that. Yes. And the 25% of that could be literally anything. It's your choice. So it could be your cravings, it could be your meats, it could be your dessert. It's your choice. Yeah. Now, by doing that, what it helps is it will prevent you from any kind of cravings you may have. You ask me to take away, I don't know, ice cream from a diet. And someone who likes ice cream. Normally I wouldn't miss it, but if you tell me now I cannot have it, now I will miss it.
Yes.
So this allows you to do it. So they just say, fill up your plate 75% with these kind of things, and they won't narrow it down to only a few things. Yeah. I mean, you literally can use anything to fill up that 75% as long as it's full of fiber and whole grain and all those stuff.
Yeah, I will say that it's not a diet. I have heard this line so many times with different diets, but I'm telling you that this is not a diet. I will say for Indian people, eat how your mom used to put that in plate. Our mom used to put cucumber, tomato salad with one chapati, one roti. Then she used to put cooked vegetable, and we call it sabji, then little bit yogurt, and then lentil and beans. So it was like, we call it thali. There
were a lot of things on that plate.
So if you see, those are all our vegetarian food, and those all are whole grain and bean based food, and then they have cooked vegetable also, and then 25% will go to your roti or dahi or yogurt. You can have that, but it will encourage us to eat healthy overall. Like with vegetarian diet, if you are eating only salads, so you will feel hungry after 1 hour or so. That's why people don't eat salads, because if you eat only salads with leaves and cooked vegetable, you will feel hungry after 1 hour. They say, oh no, I cannot tolerate this kind of diet. No, but this diet you will eat like whole grains, beans, and with the salad, so it's very full. You will not feel hungry.
I measure my success a couple of ways. One is the traditional way, how much do you weigh? So that was kind of stubborn at some 178 or 180 for quite a few years. And at that time, the doctor said, it would be very nice if I lose 10 pounds. And I laughed at him, like, haha, I know that it would be nice, but that's not happening. And now I weigh kind of between 145 and 148. So my cholesterol readings are well within range. A1C was 7.8 or 8. At that time, and it's now I just had some blood work done, got my results a couple of days back. It's at 6.4. Yes. So my doctor was like, yeah, it's pretty good. I want my patients to have it less than 7. Yeah. I'm like, okay, you are happy, I am happy, but I don't like that number yet. I want it to go low.
We want to keep going, yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, people fixate on just the weight part, but there are so many other things. We should be talking about general health. How can I improve my health? We never speak about that. It's like, how can I reduce my weight? That's the question in the society.
And then we do all the detox diets, smoothie diets, all the slim fast diets.
It's not a diet.
Yes.
It's a change in your way of thinking, lifestyle change. I mean, for us, what we found is that we still are able to eat our traditional food along with introducing a lot of healthy vegetables.
Amazing. amazing to hear people's experiences from making those small, simple changes in their life and how it results in these big, powerful shifts in their health and in their quality of life. I just never get tired of hearing those success stories.
Me either. I think it's absolutely wonderful. And I think each of us personally also have stories. And so seeing others share their own just adds to this level of, I don't know, feeling like you're part of a community. So if you haven't already tried the QR code on the right, try it right now. It will take you to a page where people have shared their stories. So you can read some of them. You can also read program reviews. So if you don't feel like you have a story necessarily to tell, but you like certain parts of the program, put it on there. I think people who are wanting to try this way of eating might need some encouragement. And so finding a page like that, finding what you like about the program can be instrumental in helping them start Full Plate Living. So thank you for doing that. Kayli, thank you so much for being here today and talking about the power of fiber foods and the effect that they can have on our health. I know I'm inspired to go and add a fiber food to my meal. So I hope that you are as well. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.